This video demonstration is on the glazing white pen. Okay, so what we're doing, we're using two contrasting colours. So we've got a beige on the back, which could be classed as your complementary colour, your orangey. And then we've got a blue glaze. So orange and blue are quite complementary, even though this is more on the yellow side. That would be a split complementary. Okay. So what we're going to do is I've masked up around the area. Now I've not used the green masking tape, I've just used the normal masking tape, because we just want to prevent it going onto the skirt ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it all in to start off with, and I'm going to make sure that I'm putting enough on to cover the background and the foreground. And getting it even is the key to this one, really. It looks a little bit thick in places at the moment, but I'm going to make sure that I smooth it all out and it all ends up quite even before I start the task. So I'm not going to go right across the wall, I'm only going to do half. I'm just making sure I'm getting it into all the nooks and crannies. You can't really give this a second coat, it's only a one coat thing. So just make sure you're getting it into all the little indentations, the shape of the wallpaper. And then using a flock roller with this glaze. So this glaze was just a clear glaze. It's had blue and a little bit of green pigment put in to make this colour. I'm just going to roll it on. Now I'm just going to do it haphazardly to start off with before I lay it all off, because I just want to make sure I've got the right thickness to start off with. Again, with your roller, make sure you're getting into all them little areas, no matter which direction you go. You're covering the whole of the paper. And what I'm going to do, once I've got it to a state where I'm happy with the amount I've got on, that everything's flooded with glaze, I'm then going to show you 3 different ways of removing the glaze from the top of the paper. And that's why we use a blown vinyl, because the blown vinyl bit, PVC on the top, is the bit where we're going to remove the glaze, and that's going to give us like a 2-tone effect. So we'll see the background colour on the prominent parts, because we're going to remove the glaze, and we'll see the background colour, we'll see the background colour which is going to be left on. Okay, so the foreground is going to be taken off, the background is going to be left on. Now don't rush this, I'm rushing it obviously for the demo, but you want to make sure that it's as smooth as you can get it and you've got no areas missed. I'm just trying to get it even now, so it's the same thickness all the way down. And again, if you see any bits, just make sure you go over them. Don't leave any white, not white bits, but this colour showing through. Flock rollers are the best rollers to use for this. They don't pick up loads of glaze, and they don't, because it's not a sheepskin, it's quite a smooth surface, so it leaves your glaze nice and smooth as well, and it holds enough paint. I could work on that and make it better. I'm just conscious of showing you 3 different ways to remove the actual glaze from the forefront. So the first one I'm going to use is just like a squeegee. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down the front of the pattern like this, and I'm going to take off the foreground of the glaze like that. So that's one effect. And obviously you can go in different directions. Don't press too hard though, because if you press too hard, you'll go through to the background. You can see now I've got the base colour coming through like that. So that's one effect. Another effect is basically just to rub off the actual glaze off the front. So you're rubbing a little bit off at the back as well, but you're making a lighter effect there. Okay, so I'm obviously rubbing some off the back, but I've still got that prominent, I've still got that colour. And the last one is just to get a rubbing block and wrap this lint-free cloth around it, and just in a circular motion take it off like this. It doesn't take as much off, so it all depends on the effect you're going for. Obviously when I get to that point it's saturated, so I need to then move my cloth, rewrap it, make sure it's tight, and then go again. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. So it doesn't matter which effect you choose, as long as you just stick to one effect. So here we tend to have quite an even mixture of the background and the foreground. Here you've left more of the background on, so it's a bit darker. Here you've took overall a lot more off. So it depends which you prefer. If you want to practice them all, that's fine, because Glaze has a long open time. So if you think, right, I've practiced all three, just on a small bit, practiced all three, I'm just going to choose one, just roll over the whole thing, make sure it's even again, and then just pick your one effect. Okay, so this is water-based glaze. If you wanted it to last a lot longer, if you were doing a huge wall, you'd need to add glycerine. Okay, glycerine will help it to last longer by extending the open time. Okay, another way you can extend the open time a little bit is to spray the surface with water. I don't particularly like doing that because I find that you get bubbles in the glaze, but it is a way of doing it as well. So as again, you can start again. It's got a long open time. Okay, so that's the end of that video, but let me just tell you one thing. Obviously this is made up for the full group. Okay, so this 2.5 litre is made up of the full group. Put everything back in there once you've used it, and then these just everything, whatever you've used, gets washed in just water. Okay, thanks.